and what kind of equipment did you use when you started? So my very first production equipment.
We can change it. It's plain to see that we're lost in the ashes.
Welcome to the vlog. Today is one of these days where I screwed up big time. It's already like the end of the day. I was so like focused on making music, I forgot the time entirely. Vanessa just texted me, when are you picking me up? It's way too late. So let me give you a quick update, because I'm working on a song. As you know, I finished the album. It's entirely not 100, it's like a 95% finished. Like just one last song, the Ashes one, the one you just heard in the intro. It's not full enough, it's not finished enough, but I will get there really soon. And I wanted to do, like, after finishing the album, again, more club music. And the club music I like to DJ and love the most is, I could call it like deep, progressive, melodic, techno, somewhere in between. So I started a couple of weeks ago a song called Night Rider. It's getting there. I still want to add some vocals, maybe not full on pop vocals, but something. Maybe my own voice just speaking and like heavily distorted. Maybe recording a singer-songwriter and have something in there. And I started like a couple of days ago a second one. And I'm like, I finished the intro, the break, and the drop, which are like, those are the most important parts. Then you just copy it again. And I like it. My problem is just, it's again way too dark. Darker than I actually wanted to make it. But then I sometimes just get lost, like playing around with the synthesizers. And I really enjoy this kind of club music. No guitars, nothing organic in there. It's just like full on electronic music. This right here is the entire project at the moment, like just 30 tracks. And I already like, I really love the intro, because let me check that it's not too loud. I added a lot of like small distortion effect sounds, like subtle in the background. First like a telephone call, and then some glitches. Sirens. And later on even helicopter sounds. If you listen to the entire thing, you can just like hear them if you hear like closely. But they make it very interesting, because the rest is just pretty simple. Without it, it's a little boring, because at the moment it's just like the filtered kick, a sub bass with a lot of noise, and then a second one. That sounds a bit like Daft Punk, and then just like the synthy groove. Shaker. And that's pretty much it. It then drops to absolute nothing. I think a vocal there would be really cool. Because it's then just that groove, which is actually the main thing of the song, cut off really low, and then just opening it up, a little bit of automation, reverb in, and then just drop. I like that stuff. I think this could really work well in a club. I just need to finish it. It's just like the first draft, but I think I will finish this one. But yeah, since no time is left for like an actual full real video, and I don't want to make any more videos about that virus situation. It's just fucked up. It's getting worse every day. Nothing new. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. I will just like try and focus the rest of these videos in the next coming weeks on music, because I think a lot of you are interested in how to make music, how to advance, like techniques, seeing me working on songs and how to finish them, get inspired, and all that kind of stuff that you're used to from this channel. The financial situation here in the studio is looking quite alright. Like, not afraid at all at the moment. We still need to be careful and aware of the situation, but it doesn't look that grim actually at the moment. So yeah, I actually need to leave. We'll just stick to a simple Q&A later. First, picking up Vanessa, having dinner with my parents, building some IKEA shit, and then
Realize that we can change it. It's plain to see that we're lost in the ashes.
day's almost over, so let's start with the Q&A. And the first question is already a classic. Are you Indian? Now, for how many years have you been in the music industry? I'd say DJing 15 years, producing 10, almost 10. Will you ever switch to another DAW like FL or Ableton? No. No. Like Logic is fine. They're all the same. It's really just a matter of how used you're to one, and I'm very used to Logic. I can work really fast, so there's no reason to switch. What's the best way to gain Instagram followers when you're a bedroom DJ? I wouldn't worry that much about the Instagram followers. Just make good music on good labels and it will happen naturally. But what definitely helps is getting your friends, family on board, doing giveaways, using the hashtags properly, and yeah, just constantly post. Most people just don't post enough. Every day, one post. How long did it take until you had your first clean mix? Never. Like I'm still trying to make clean mixes. I mean, you get better over the years, but then also you want to like push yourself, so you're never satisfied, at least me. How did you meet your girlfriend? We actually already made like an entire episode about it. I'll link it up there if you're interested. Like 10 minutes, all explained. Where would you move to in the world if you could have your studio anywhere? I have to say I'm really happy with the location of my studio, so at the moment I would just stay where I am. Maybe LA, because of the entire music industry is there and you have a lot of good singers, songwriters. But no, I think the harbor here in Düsseldorf is pretty dope. Do you think it's better to release singles only or also release albums? I nowadays with Spotify streaming and everything would just go for the singles. Every month, every 2 months a song, just to be present. And an album, maybe one day if you're big enough, or if you make a kind of music that needs an album where you tell a story, it just doesn't really fit as a format to electronic music. Reference tracks are mastered. How close should your finished track be in comparison? As close as possible. Like 3% off max. Because the mastering, it doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, it's just like one file. What can you do with it? EQ it, compress it, limit it, that's it. So you need to be really close with the mixing and even more important, the sound selection. Is it possible for anyone who really wants it to make a living of producing only? Producing only, maybe, probably, I'd say yes, but very hard. If you add to it performing, then yeah, definitely. How to promote a YouTube video when you're not big on social media? With YouTube videos, you don't promote them. I mean, you can, but just make a good video, a good title, a good thumbnail, and it will pick up by itself. The algorithm of YouTube is really fair. And for example, I never ever did any promotion for any of my YouTube activities. I just make videos and upload them. Where's the result of the giveaway? The winner was announced on my Instagram story. The winner was contacted. The package was already sent out a couple of days ago. So yeah, we always publicly announce them on Instagram. What do you do when you're out of musical ideas? That luckily never happened. But I would just listen to other music and be inspired instantly. So I luckily don't really have that problem. Since you have great relationships with Dennis Koyu, why don't you release on Spinnin'? I mean, I know everyone at Spinnin' and I like their releases, but I don't think that my stuff fits to their label. So I never sent them the demos. At least in the past half year, I haven't sent them anything. Before I have, and they listened to it, but it wasn't usually a fit. And I'm actually really happy releasing with my own label. How to judge your music when releasing independently? If you mean you yourself releasing, yeah, it can be tough because you can release it whenever you want and no one is double checking it. So I'd say make it at least like 2 to 5% better than your last song. If that's not the case, don't release it. How long do you produce? As I said, around like almost 10 years. And what kind of equipment did you use when you started? So my very first production equipment, I think it was the G5, no, was it the G3? I think like the first real producing, because I had the cracked Logic version on my iMac, but the iMac couldn't handle it. So the G5, I the first time bought Logic back then for like 600 to 800 euros. It was really expensive back then. And on my G5, so I had the display, the computer, no headphones, and only speakers worth like 20 bucks that were actually meant to be for like gaming, just to connect to your computer, with like a subwoofer. And for that price, to have a subwoofer included only tells you how shitty it all was. So yeah, I then switched to studio speakers that I bought off a friend for like 100 bucks that were passive. And then I switched to my Yamaha HS8M 80M, the old version. And now I got the big speakers for the new studio. How to get unique ideas every time? Every time is probably not possible, but I wouldn't worry too much about being unique, because then you just make something for the sake of being different than anyone else, and that might not lead to something you like. So just start producing and make something you like. Don't worry about it being unique, because it will be unique at the end if you don't just blind copy someone else. That's it for today's Q&A. I will go try and sleep a little, just maybe work like half an hour, then sleep. Tomorrow back to the studio, another day full of music production.